What we're gonna do right here is go back. What we're gonna do right here is go back. Go back, go back, go back, go back, go back.
Alright, and welcome back to Kuma Style Reviews. What we have here today is Great Mazinger, 1969 by Fewture Models. Another design of Tako Sato's reimagining of the characters and things like that. This is actually the third review that I'm doing for the 1969 series. I've previously done Integer 1969 as well as Mazinger 1969. These are all the original colored versions, so make sure to, if you want to see the whole thing, there are actually two more, a repaint of Great Mazinger as well as Mazinger. They have the demon colors and stuff like that, the more blue tint, as well as different accessories and stuff like that. I don't think I'll be purchasing those, so you'll have to look up elsewhere for those reviews. But anyways, going ahead and getting into the box here. Pretty standard. You see the Great Mazinger 1969 with his Great Rooster, which is the name for his Scrander in the series, as well as Brain Condor, which is the powder that sits on top of his head. Nothing else on the sleeve. There's some warning information, I'm sure, at the bottom. Pardon my dogs, they are bad. Nothing on the back. And opening up, just knocking stuff over here, the box. Once you take the sleeve out, there's nothing on here except the bigger picture of Great Mazinger 1969. You'll see the different head sculpt as well as the more boomerang-like, well, he has the great boomerang attack, his chest plate as well. This is actually showing off the breastburn version, which is another attack of theirs, the clear one. But yeah, that's the box. Let's go ahead and get into the figure itself. Alright, now for the out-of-the-box segment. Of course, we have Great Mazinger here. And in terms of accessories, we've got his sword, an assorted set of brass knuckles here. There are longer ones, shorter ones, and then more nubs. I don't really understand that. It's not canon to the show, but they came with Mazinger Z2. We also have two versions of Brain Condor here. And I'm actually going to start putting some of this stuff together while I'm reviewing it. So we'll look at the two versions here. Aesthetically, they're exactly the same, but one can actually transform and be placed on top of his head where the other one can't. So it's nice that they have, you know, a more solid version as opposed to having one with lines through it where there are the bends and things like that. But let's go ahead and place this on his head now. We'll go ahead and zoom in here. And I remember before I got this, I read the review on Collection DX, and I believe it was Sanjeev who, sorry if I didn't pronounce his name right, but he was the one who said his didn't necessarily peg in correctly, and neither does mine. I haven't found the way to go ahead and get that in firmly. So for anybody who has the magic touch or the method, I haven't seen anybody on Toy Box DX, Collection DX, or, you know, Robot Japan, anywhere that I post, who's really had a good method of getting that to stay. Once it's in, Friction holds it okay, but, you know, Mazinger with his powders, he had just a peg that pegged in, where this one does not at all, you know. I don't get it. But anyway, if anybody has any tips on that, let me know. But continuing on with the accessories, those are the two versions of the powder. Once again, he comes with a more solid version of Brain Condor that doesn't transform. Alright. We've got some alternate fist here. He's got the closed fist pegged in right now, but he comes with the open fist, completely open hands, as well as the pointer finger. And for anybody who's watched the anime series, you'll know that the pointer finger is actually for his attack called Thunderbreak, where he kind of summons down lightning from the heavens and all that good stuff. So another piece that I'm going to go ahead and attach now is Great Booster, which is his Scrander, or Jetpack. He does have minor differences in the wings. The color is also very different than the cherry red of the Scrander that came with Mazinger 1969. Alright, and one thing that I did note with Mazinger 1969 and his Jet's Grandeur, the nose cones of these are actually die cast, where the rest of them are plastic. I thought the whole things were plastic until I actually read that and then felt it, and yeah, definitely die cast. Don't necessarily know why they put that one piece of die cast on here, but they did. Looks cool. Whatever. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and transform this into the jetpack. He does have the boosters here, so you can't really transform it both, or transform the wings both ways. So we're going to go ahead and flip those down. Alright. And then, of course, it's hard to do with these stupid gloves on. But let me get under there. Okay. And now zooming out and going back over to Great Mazinger here. I already have the back flap flipped out, flips up, flips down. And okay. There's a great booster. Matches very well with the vibrant electric blue and things like that. He does come with a stand as well. I don't have that displayed. I left that actually in the box. It's just like the ones that came with Integer as well as Mazinger. Exact same thing. So my other two reviews that I've just done, I'll go ahead and include links to those two. You'll see how they work. They're amazing. He comes with one too, but these figures are very posable. He doesn't need it. Alright. And the last thing that he comes with here is a sword handle, which we'll go ahead and use during the next segment. It actually lets him and Mazinger's swords combine together. Notice that he comes with his sword. It's just like Mazinger's sword, and yeah, they become this awesome, non-canon, just sword of freaking manliness. It's amazing. So anyway, there's what's in the box. Let's go ahead and get on to the figure itself. Oh, and I almost forgot, one thing that he did come with as well is the artwork here by Takusato. It has Mazinger, the design firm, on one side, as well as Great Mazinger on the other side. I actually have it taped up in the back of my Fewture shelf here, so I don't want to go in there, untape it, knock figures down just to show you a piece of paper, but it's pretty cool, so yeah. Okay, now taking a look at the figure himself. Go ahead and give him a quick rotate here. Okay. And there's that. Now, looking at the head sculpt here, it's a lot like Mazinger's, but at the same time, quite a few differences there in the overall sculpt, the horns, you know, even the arc of the eyebrows and things like that. But for the most part, the mouth is the same. Remember, when you're taking the head off, to go from the jaw and the back of the head there, not this piece, because it is not one piece, and that top half will come off. So bracing the body here for some support. And now on this one, I noticed, I don't know if it was affixed to the mode because this one came out a little bit later or what, but the mouth gimmick, once I open this mouth up once, it actually goes up and down really easy. So just going ahead and taking a look at that. This, once again, hard to do with gloves because I can't really grip it. But yeah, this one actually, I can do it at the chin now instead of having to, you know, go through the teeth and things like that. So I appreciate that part of it. Alright, pegs back in really easy. And you can see what I was saying with the powder there, it's just loose. Alright. Looking at the posability, it's going to be the same as the other two figures. The body style is exactly the same. But that neck articulation, head swivel, waist swivel. He does have the ab crunch, like the other two. Strong click there. You can see his powder just flew off of his effing head. There's part of me that wants to just glue this thing on so bad. It's hard not to. Alright. resale value is the only thing. Alright. Looking at the shoulder joints here. Alright. Now, one thing I noticed on this one, he comes with the, shoulder, I don't know, they're not pads, but just something to keep it cohesive there. Because these parts are movable. The top half, alright, they look like those helmets from Spaceballs. But anyways, these two pieces on each side, for whatever reason, they just fell off. Super glued them right back on, and now they stay like a charm. So watch for that. Like I said, I don't know if it's this particular toy, mold degradation, factory, workers being lazy, but whatever. I'd be lazy too if I was working for pennies. But anyway, bicep swivel, strong elbow ratchets. Now, just like the other two, the forearms are attached here by magnets, and you can see here, I'll go ahead and try to do it as best I can with one hand so you can see just how strong the magnets are. Okay, there we go. So good strong magnets. You can see here I can actually move the figure and stuff, yank them. It's good stuff. Alright, we went over the waist swivel. Zooming out here. Not a lot of back motion because of the crotch piece here, but good amount of forward kick. And see that nice strong ratcheting side to side too, and also not a lot of side movement there. Okay, no double jointed knees or anything crazy like that. What you see is what you get. And those cool clicking ankles too, a lot of movement there. And the front parts of the feet are also articulated to give some further balance as well. So overall, very posable figure. If you haven't watched my other reviews, man, almost this whole thing is die cast. These forearm pieces are die cast. Like this whole body is die cast. It's crazy. The head isn't. Part of the Jet's Greater is, or the Great Booster. These shoulder pieces definitely die cast as well. The biceps are not, but just tons of die cast, like head to toe. This is a solid figure. I enjoy him quite a bit. But yeah, let's go ahead and look at the add-on here, though, too. Because we already looked at the finger. I don't think I need to attach this. You can imagine him pointing a finger in the air. Okay, but we'll look at the brass knuckles. We'll take the long ones here. And they just peg over. There are little indents on the side of the hands, right where I pegged them in there. Gotta find the other long set. Well, I'm actually not going to use this hand. So, I'm going to peg this out, and that happens quite a bit, where these peg in so well to the forearms that, yeah. So give me 1 second, I'm going to take this off camera. And I just have to pull the peg out. It still comes out easy, so when that happens, don't worry. It's not lost forever. Alright? And I'm not quite going to peg in the open fist yet. Here it is. Now, one thing I noticed on Mazinger, the thumb came out. These, it looks like the thumb's supposed to come out, but I don't know if they're glued or what, but they're just really tight. And I'm going to keep them that way because sometimes the thumb on my Mazinger actually falls out. Don't want that to happen with this, so just leaving it like it is. But what I am going to show you is the sword set of manliness. Alright, so we start here. And I just unpeg the front part. Okay. Next, we need both swords. Okay. So I've got Mazinger's, and the handles of these actually kind of go up. See how it's sideways now? Sideways. And they make it blatant what side's which. These holes here are actually a lot larger than the holes on the other side for those to peg into. So they make it really easy for you. And I like that they peg in nice and tight so that you don't have to be worried or anything like that while you're doing it. Now the sword also pegs into itself right here. Boom, boom. Just making sure everything's pegged in nice and tightly there. Okay, you can see that side. Okay. And if you hear my dogs in the background, I have no idea why they're being so bad, but it happens. And it's weird because they're just staring at each other and barking. So that's what beagles do. So, okay. And there you have it. The sword set of manliness. Now let's go ahead. We didn't measure this figure. I can tell you off the bat, it's 9 inches tall because the other two, which use the exact same body, are 9 inches tall. This one's actually a little bit taller with the head sculpt. It's about 9.5 inches tall. So yeah, I meant the other two were 9.25, but yeah. Alright, so looking at the sword here, just so you can get a measure, even taller than the figure standing right next to it. So this thing is huge honking. It's great. So okay, we've got the open fist here. I'll even go ahead and put on that long, and I don't know if you heard that snap in, but it's a nice tight snap. You're not going to have to worry about those falling out. Now, since the thumb doesn't come out, how do I get this sword into place? Easy. You just unpeg it there. Slide it through, and it's still a tight grip. They are rubbery enough for you to kind of press them. Press the fingers in if you aren't getting the grip you want. And okay. Now I'm actually going to rotate this to the outside since that's the cool side, but then I'm going to peg that into place. I'll go ahead and repeg this back on. Now one thing I will say is watch out. When I was unpegging the front here, the first time it was very tight. I think it's just because of pain and stuff like that. And also I want to show you one more thing. When it comes to this breast piece, either one that you peg into it, be careful taking them out. Try to pull it as straight out as possible. See what I just did there? I braced and I just like wedged it straight out. You don't want to damage these pegs here because these still have to fit into his chest as well. And just for show accuracy, they do fit into his hand, or either hand, so that you can do the great boomerang attack as well. So very show accurate there. Let's go ahead and get this into place though. Alright, pegging it straight on. Alright, make sure that's nice and tight. Alright, now the sword is heavy, but it's no match for his amazing elbow ratchet. But okay, turning the head there. We're just getting him into a cool pose. You guys know how I do it. Okay. Alright, and it is a little bit hard to position it just right so that it balances with that. If you have problems, you could always have him double fist the sword as well. Alright. I am going to cheat a little bit. I'm going to have him rested on there, but there you go. Make sure you can see it at the right angle there. But yeah, we'll even go ahead and give it that dynamic angle there. Yeah! So you can see this is a very, very cool toy. I do love the electric blue that they used for this one. The navy blue on Mazinger, I don't know, it's cool, it's fine. But this electric blue, I think it just offsets and looks a hell of a lot better. So yeah, there you have it. That's Great Mazinger 1969 by Fewture. Alright, and final thoughts on this guy. Honestly, great sculpt, awesome amount of diecast, great posability. I love the accessories. You know, I just call it the sword set of manliness, but the big sword that it comes with, the ability to combine his sword with Mazinger 1969 sword, is a very, very cool addition. In fact, I normally zoom in, but I want to zoom out because that just looks cool. Yeah. So I mean, looking at what you're getting for the buck, I think it's amazing. I'd recommend it to anybody. This is the original color version. There was a recolor, like I said at the beginning. It's more of a bluish tint to his skin. I believe the blue parts on the arms and legs are actually a darker blue as well, if not black, actually. So lots of recoloring going on. He also comes with a different jetpack or Jet's Grander, as well as two bigger swords instead of the ability to, combine and stuff like that. So completely different accessories and stuff like that. Personally, I prefer this version. That's why I paid a little bit more and bought this version. Now, price. I mean, I believe it debuted for between $250 and $300, and I paid $450 for this version. It came out in 2011. So I'm definitely, I got it new, mint in box or whatever, from animeexport.com actually. And it's well worth it. Paying a little bit more of a markup for this version, being able to complete the 1969 set, all original colors and everything like that. Just a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful figure. Well worth the cost of admission. I'm actually going to do a comparison video of him, Iniger 1969, and Mazinger 1969. Let you know my thoughts on which one's my favorite one. But yeah, this one definitely, if you see it, buy it. Price is going to be up there, but in my opinion, well worth it. Thank you guys for watching this review. This has been TJ Duckett. And oh yeah, I want to touch on the new intro that I have, the animation done. That was actually done by, I'm gonna fuck up his name, but I believe it's pronounced Nicolas Sardos. So he is an amazing, amazing, amazing artist, incredible animator, and awesome guy to talk to. I believe his website is nicksardos.com. I'll go ahead and link to that. So if you have any animation wants or artistic wants or anything like that, he does like custom prints and things like that. We'll draw whatever you want. Just incredible. Incredible. I'm surprised he's literally not working for an animation or comic book company or something like that as we speak. But awesome dude. Hit him up on Twitter, T16Skyhop with 2 P's. But yeah. Anyway, this has been another Kuma-style review. This is Fewture Models Great Mazinger 1969. Thank you guys for watching, and see you next time.